and protect lives. Today and every day in 2025, think and practice safety first.
Maroa Ag, providing farmers with crop protection, custom application, and crop nutrients for over 35 years.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
WHOW is Central Illinois' ag station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays, tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW, AM, FM, and streamed online.
News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast, streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The Clinton City Council put its fiscal year 2026 budget on file Tuesday night at the Clinton City Council meeting. City Clerk Cameron Wilford read a prepared statement from City Treasurer Clinton Lichtenwalter, who could not make the meeting Tuesday. The report indicates Clinton will dip into reserves for nearly $750,000.
General fund revenues have increased over the last several years, with the largest increases being in sales tax and income tax. General fund expenses are budgeted approximately $2 million higher than the average. This is due to some large inflationary increases in operating expenses, as well as some large capital items, including an elevator upgrade, the carryover of a major upgrade to one of our larger parks, 2 new squad cars, as well as several large capital projects in the street department. This budget projects that we will dip into our reserves by approximately $750,000. The fiscal year 26 projected reserve balance in the general fund would be about 14 months of operating and capital expenses. The water budget includes a 5% increase, and the sewer budget includes a 3% increase to the respective portions of the water bill. This equates to a $1.20 increase in the overall minimum monthly budget.
The report from Lichtenwalter also notes another year of pensions that are well funded.
The self-funded health insurance fund continues with another fairly healthy year. Prescription costs have grown significantly in the recent years, and the insurance committee is reviewing the cause and potential solution with the TPA on this. There will again be no increase in rates to the departments or employees for the fiscal year 2026. There have been no premium increases since the fiscal year 16. Our 3 pension funds are in very healthy positions. IMRF is currently 96.25% funded as of 12/31 of 2023. Police pension as of 4/30/2024 was 95.68% funded on an actuarial basis and 90.97% funded on a market basis. Fire pension as of 4/30/24 was 140.72% funded on an actuarial basis and 137% funded on a market basis.
Warner Hospital CEO Paul Skowron presented the hospital's budget for the year. They're projecting a positive bottom line of just short of $900,000.
We're projecting revenue 5% higher than last year's. Gross patient revenue for fiscal year 26 for the hospital, $43.8 million. And a bottom line, we're projecting a positive bottom line of $892,000. So I call this a conservative budget still. In the past, I've always kept it conservative. We've always exceeded the budget. Our bottom line through March for this fiscal year is $2.7 million. However, this year I'm especially concerned about being conservative because of some of the legislative changes coming out of Washington. There's discussion of Medicaid cuts that we don't know what they might be yet. And as a result, we're factoring in some cuts. Hopefully they don't happen, but it's a work in progress, as you know, in Washington right now. As well as there's some oddball things that could happen, like subsidies on pharmaceuticals. we can't budget for that. But what we can do is keep our budget, conservative. And that's why we're continuing to stay conservative, but still a positive bottom line of $892,000 for this coming fiscal year.
The city will vote on the new budget May 6th. Parents of Little Maroons ready for kindergarten next year will want to take advantage of a program later this week to introduce their youngsters to what's in store for them in the fall. Principal of Lincoln and Douglas Schools in Clinton, Jessica Patrick, indicates Camp Kindergarten is a chance for students in pre-K or those who did not attend pre-K but will be starting kindergarten next year to get introduced to the school building and spend time with staff of the building.
So Camp Kindergarten is probably one of my favorite events of the year. We did it last year. It was our first time last year, so we're happy to do it again this year. It's on Thursday. So what this is a time for our incoming kindergartners to come into the buildings. They get to meet the kindergarten teachers, explore the kindergarten classrooms. It gives teachers an opportunity to go ahead and meet them, start building relationships, but they also have a little bit of time to start gathering some just basic and essential like pre-academic skills. And that helps us build balanced class list. And then at the same time, I'm giving an orientation to families. So just a little insight of what to expect in kindergarten, how they can help and how we can partner just to kind of set our kindergartners up for success.
While students go with the staff of the building on a tour, Patrick will keep parents back to address them on how to prepare their students for school in the fall. Camp Kindergarten is this Thursday at Douglas School. It will be from 9 to 10:30, and at Lincoln School, it will be from 1:15 to 2:45. Patrick asked parents who want to participate to RSVP. Earlier this week, students from the Central Illinois CEO program stopped by the WHOW Morning Show to highlight their year so far and the upcoming trade show for the individual businesses they've started. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Ava Smith and Olivia Wendell from Warrensburg-Latham High School highlighted the group's upcoming Shark Tank event this week.
So for Shark Tank, we get the chance to have 10 minutes with the Sharks to pitch our business to them. And they can ask us questions, and then they pick one winner at the end to win a $250 grant for their business to keep it rolling. And it's just, we have, I believe, 4 or 5 sharks, and they are all people that we have interacted with throughout the year. They all come together, and we have visitors come and watch also, and we pitch our business to them, and they had the opportunity to ask us questions and really dig into the details of our business.
The year-end trade show for the Central Illinois CEO program is Thursday, May 1st at Hickory Point Mall in Forsyth. The Illinois school leaders are watching closely a proposed ban of cell phones in schools. The legislation is being touted by Illinois Democrats in the newest legislative cycle. Dr. Lisa Taylor is the superintendent of Heyworth schools and says her district does not face a lot of discipline issues when it comes to cell phones.
Yeah, so it sounds like the governor wants this to go through. So I think it probably will, not for this upcoming school year, but for the next one, I believe. And so we discuss it every year when we update our student handbook and talk about it. You know, everybody's situation is unique. We don't have a lot of discipline issues with cell phones.
Educators are often on the side of local control, and Dr. Taylor is no different. She hopes the state of Illinois will let them make their own decisions around cell phones to do what is best for them. Coverage of news streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on why bigger necessarily isn't better.
People just think things are better on the other side or out of town or whatever. Right, you know, the name of the store is Save a Lot. So we kind of have that around our neck in a sense that we have to perform and we have to save people a lot. Never said we're the lowest on every item. What I have always claimed, and I can back up, is we are as low or lower and fair than any other retailer.
Shop your Clinton Save-A-Lot to save up to 40% every day. And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Time now for, a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. In a game heard here on WHOW and all our digital platforms, Warrensburg-Latham got out to an early start in the top of the first and never looked back in defeating Clinton 13-5 in Central Illinois Conference high school softball action Tuesday in Clinton. The Maroons were led by Riley Fentress, who was 1 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. She was the serve pro of Piatt-DeWitt County's player of the game. Hadley Humboldt was 2 for 3 with a run scored, while Lainey Nichols finished 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Olivia Haynes went 7 innings, allowing 13 runs on 14 hits. She struck out 7 and walked 1. The Lady Cardinals were led by Brooklyn Burton, who was 5 for 5 with 2 RBIs and scored 4 runs. Kelsey Oakley finished 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs, scored 3 runs, including a 2-run homer. Oakley allowed 5 runs on 6 hits in her 7 innings in Circle. She struck out 5 and issued 3 walks. With the win, the Lady Maroons fall to 2-6, while Warrensburg-Latham improves to 5-7. The Lady Maroons travel to Monticello today to take on the 12-3 Lady Sages. Hear the action this afternoon on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Warrensburg-Latham scored 10 runs in the first inning and rolled to an easy 13-1 run rule win over Clinton in Central Illinois Conference high school baseball action on Tuesday in Clinton. The Cardinals slugged 5 home runs. Dawson Waterhouse, Evan Gottman, Christopher Lawson, Nick Shelsta, and Trenton Bridges all went deep. Waterhouse and Lawson drove in 3 runs apiece. Gottman drove in 2 runs for Warrensburg-Latham. Colton Walker led Clinton, going 2 for 2 with a stolen base and a walk. Mitchell Cornwell was 1 for 2 with an RBI double, while Josh Bass was 1 for 3 with a double for the Maroons. The Cardinals are 13-1 overall and are 4-0 in the CIC. Clinton drops to 5-6 and 2-1 in the CIC. They will host Mount Pulaski this afternoon. Hear the action on WHOW and all our digital platforms. Monticello used balanced offense, and Matthias Rudolph got the Sages out of a bases-loaded 7th-inning jam in a 7-2 win over Mattoon in non-conference high school baseball action in Mattoon on Tuesday. Carter Foran pitched into the 7th inning. The senior went 6 of 2-run ball for Monticello. He struck out 3, walked 3, and permitted 7 hits. Cole Basak had 3 hits and an RBI to pace the Sages offense. Ike Young was 2 for 4 with a triple and an RBI. Eli Kraft was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Colton Vance was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Eric Arnold finished 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Hayden Romano drove in another run for Monticello. The Sages go to 12-3 overall. They will host Tolono Unity on Thursday. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Grady Rose's 2-run single completed another come-from-behind walk-off win for Maroa-Forsyth in a 4-3 win over Pleasant Plains on Tuesday. In Forsyth, Mitch Williams singled to start the inning. Ace Giles drew a 1-out walk, and Gunnar Larner was hit by a pitch, setting up Rose's walk-off base hit. Caden Rose fired 6 innings of 3-run ball for the Trojans. 2 runs were earned on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts to 3 walks. Williams and Rose each finished 2 for 4. Williams got the win with an inning of scoreless relief for Maroa-Forsyth. The Trojans are 8-3 overall, and 2-0 in the Sangamo. They will host Decatur St. Teresa on Wednesday. Liam Smith homered and drove in 5 runs as Mount Pulaski rolled past Cerro Gordo 11-1 in a 5-inning run rule win in non-conference high school baseball action from Cerro Gordo Tuesday. Smith was 2 for 2. Aaron Volley added a homer and 2 RBIs. Preston Cowan drove in 2 runs for the Hilltoppers, while Eric Cooper hit a triple, going 1 for 3. Carter Clark fired a complete game, allowing a run on 3 hits with 8 strikeouts. Mount Pulaski is 8-2 overall. They'll visit Clinton this afternoon. Hear the action today on WHOW and all its digital platforms. A late surge sent Springfield High past Lincoln 11-1 in Central State 8 high school baseball action Tuesday in Lincoln. The Senators led 4-1 going to the fourth inning when they scored 4 runs and added 3 more in the fifth to put the game away on a run rule. Ashton Corley was 2 for 3 with a double to pace the Rail Splitters. Austin Lucas was 1 for 3 with a double and the lone RBI for Lincoln. The Railers dropped to 5-10 overall and 1-5 in the CS8. They will travel to Champaign Central on Thursday. MJ Hall drove in 4 runs and led Argenta-Oreana over Cerro Gordo B Mint in Lincoln Prairie Conference High School baseball Monday in Cerro Gordo. Hall was 3 for 4 with a double and 4 RBIs. The senior was touched up for 5 runs in 6 innings. 4 runs were earned on 8 hits with 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. Carson West was 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and scored 2 runs. Braden Streck homered for the Broncos. Mike Freese was 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and scored twice. Heyworth outlasted Argenta-Oreana 11-9 in non-conference back and forth high school softball action in Heyworth on Tuesday. The Lady Hornets jumped out to a 3-1 lead early. The Lady Bombers answered with 3 runs in the 4th inning to go up 4-3. After Argenta-Oreana added another run in the 5th, the Lady Hornets went up 8-5 with a 5-run 6th inning. Argenta-Oreana answered with a 4-run 6th to lead 9-8. The Lady Hornets had the final push with a 3-run 6th inning for the final 11-9 score. Grace Streams was 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and an RBI for Argenta-Oreana. Haley Rogers finished 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI, while Sydney Ditchin and Gabby Dow each drove in 2. The Lady Hornets pounded out 14 hits, all singles. Elisa Armstrong was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Bryn Jones drove in 2, while Karma Giles and Emmy Reynolds had 2 hits apiece. The Lady Bombers are 5-8 overall. The Lady Hornets are 3-6 overall. Pleasant Plains scored 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning and outlasted Maroa-Forsyth 10-6 in Sangamo Conference High School softball action on Tuesday in Forsyth. Plains got 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning to lead 6-5, but Callie Kaler's 2-out RBI triple in the bottom of the 7th tied the game at 6. Adeline Simmons finished 4 for 5 with 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 RBIs to pace Maroa-Forsyth. Taylor Crouch and Carly Crutchfield drove in 2 for the Lady Trojans. Maroa-Forsyth is 8-3 overall and 2-1 in the Sangamo. They will host Rantoul today. Illinois slugged 5 home runs, rolling to a 17-6 run rule 7-inning win over Southern Illinois Edwardsville Tuesday at Illinois Field. Vitas Valensuits and Colton Quagliano had 3 hit games, while 6 Illini tallied multi-hit efforts. Greg LaChance, Drake Westcott, Quagliano, Colin Jennings, and Will Johannes homered in the contest. Luke Weber got the win, going with a 1-2-3 inning to pick up a strikeout. Peyton Hutchings needed 12 pitches to strike out the side in the 7th to finish off the game. The Fighting Illini returned to Big Ten action with a 3-game series at Washington. Tyler Soderstrom hit a pair of 3-run homers, his major league leading 7th and 8th this season, as the A's beat the White Sox in Chicago on Tuesday.
Sean Burke's command seemed off as he left too many pitches over the heart of the plate, and Tyler Soderstrom didn't waste much time making Burke pay with a league-leading 7th home run of the season. But one 3-run shot was not enough for the Major League Baseball's leading home run man, as he had designs on a second 3-run shot.
Set and the 0-1 for Murphy. Swinging a blast deep right, and he's done it again.
The second 3-run blast was Soderstrom's 8th of the year, and the Athletics did not look back with a 12-3 win in the first of a 3-game set on the South Side. The White Sox are back in action Wednesday night. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
And the Sox will return to the WHOW airwaves as well on Friday. Nico Horner's triple leading off the 10th drove in automatic runner Dansby Swanson, and the Cubs beat the Padres 2-1 Tuesday night, handing the Padres their first loss in 12 home games. Horner's opposite field liner to right off Yuki Matsui rolled to the wall. Swanson scampered home. Horner slid into third head first ahead of a throw from Jason Hayward. The Padres had runners on first and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the inning before Caleb T-Bar got 3-time batting champ Luis Arias to fly out to left for his first save. Ryan Presley earned the win in the matchup of NL Division leaders. San Diego slugger Manny Machado homered after 2 Cubs players dropped pop fouls during a 9-pitch at bat against Shota Imanaga in the 5th. Machado fouled off 6 pitches in the at-bat with 2 outs, including one down the right field line that Kyle Tucker dropped at a high pop behind the plate that third baseman Gage Workman dropped. Machado drove a 92-mile-per-hour fastball to left center for his second homer. The Cubs tied it in the 6th on 2 singles and 2 sac bunts, with Pete Crow Armstrong getting an RBI. Imanaga allowed 4 hits in 5 innings. He struck out 7 and walked 3. Padres starter Randy Vasquez went 5 innings, allowing a run on 7 hits. The Cubs intentionally walked Fernando Tatis Jr. in the 10th to get to Arias. Tatis homered twice in their 10-4 win on Monday night. It was the 5th time Machado homered on the 9th pitch or later of an at-bat. Cubs left-hander Matthew Boyd and Padres right-hander Nick Pivetta are scheduled to start the series finale today. Jake Myers had 3 hits and drove in a run. Hunter Brown threw 6 shutout innings to lead the Houston Astros to a 2-0 win over the Cardinals Tuesday. Jordan Alvarez hit a leadoff homer in the 8th off reliever Kyle Leahy. Brown, making his first career appearance against the Cardinals, allowed 4 hits in pitching his 4th quality start of the season. He struck out 4 and walked 2. Josh Hader pitched a 1-2-3 ninth to earn his 4th save. Cardinals starter Eric Fetty gave up 6 hits, 3 walks in 6 innings. He struck out 5. It was his 3rd quality start in 4 outings this season. Myers, who entered the game hitless in his previous 9 at-bats, gave Houston the lead in the 6th. Jeremy Pena led off with a double to left. With 1 out, Myers hit a single to right that landed just in front of a diving Jordan Walker. Pena never hesitated, rounding third and slid into home ahead of the throw. Fetty got out of the inning when he snagged a line drive from Cam Smith that hit his glove, popped up and back in before he threw to first to double up Pena. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, Fetty escaped when Jose Altuve flew to center field to end the 4th. It was the 2nd inning with the bases full, and Fetty escaped on a fly ball to right by Mauricio Dubon. Brendan Donovan doubled in the 4th to extend his big league best 11-game hitting streak. He is leading the National League at 382. Astros right-hander Raniel Blanco faces off against Cardinals lefty Steven Matz in the finale of the series today. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
In the Bible, it's recorded in Acts 4:33 that with great power the apostles continued to testify to the resurrection of the Lord Jesus, and God's grace was so powerfully at work in them all. Jesus died for our sins.